We're gonna get this block all painted down now. We got all the cylinder walls cleaned out, and then we re-lubed them with oil. So now we're about to paint this block, and then we'll go from there. All painted up, just black, nothing too crazy. Make sure when you do this, obviously tape off all the little ports for bolts. I completely taped off, well, I didn't completely tape off this side because it was upside down, but I completely taped off the upper side so that way no paint got on the head gasket surface, because this surface doesn't really matter as much because you make a gasket for that. But the head gasket you want to be like flawless, so make sure you cover up the head gasket portion. But other than that, besides some spots that still are just primer, it looks pretty good. And this is from the bottom of the blocks, they won't even see it, so I'm not too worried. Got some new tools to help us really calculate the piston bore. I think I was talking about this in the other video, but this is a dial bore gauge. That's pretty much useless without a micrometer. You could use a caliper, don't get me wrong, but I want to be 100% precise. And these are like precision ground to get exactly, I think it's like 0.0001 inches of what you're trying to get. So it's pretty accurate. Okay, so if this thing says that, you want to just press the 0 button. Boom, now it's at 0. You're gonna have a few of these. Where did it go? I don't really know where the box went for this, but you're gonna have a few of these fittings right here, and you're gonna have a couple spaces, and you want to try and match it up exactly. So actually right here, I say something different, but the real way you do this is you get the micrometer set to the right spec that you want, and then you put the dial bore gauge in, and then you zero it while it's on there, because it'll read like negative a little bit, but that's what you want it to read, because then when you go down in the bore, then it'll read the right reading. As you can see, it's positive numbers right now, and it shouldn't be. It should be negative to positive, but I didn't know what I was doing at first. Now I do. I already got them all measured out, but I just had to put this in there so that way you guys didn't read it wrong. Boom, 0. Boom, 0.
I was playing Bejeweled. I don't care. Well, that's why it was an accident. But then the car lost
Boom,
control.
0.
I can't feel my legs. Who's gonna pay for my car damages? You don't pay for that. If you've been brutally smacked by a Mustang,
Boom, 0. Also want to make sure you're holding it straight, just because if you don't hold it straight, like it could read like that, or if you hold it like too far up, it'll read 0 all the time. Just make sure you're holding it straight, and if it still reads 0, then you're good. 2JZ. I never thought that building engines, I mean maybe like precise building like this, but I never thought that building engines would involve little shit like this. Like, I did not know how to read this until maybe half an hour ago, before I watched like an hour YouTube videos just to figure out what to do. But I didn't know how to use this either. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, but you know, you never know. And yeah, so after you do this, and if everything's all set up or inspect the way it's supposed to be, you can go ahead, slap your crank back in, put the pistons and rods back on. These are the pistons and rods that I'm gonna end up using. GT rods, GT pistons. Speaking of, you also wanna take the micrometer and measure the actual size of the piston, which it's looking like that's a fucking perfect match. Just slips in, I can't turn it. Hell yeah. Alright, so pistons are good. Rods are obviously good. Cylinder walls are good. Really, the only surface I need to do now is the head gasket surface. Still been dreading that shit because I don't want to fuck it up. I don't know if this whiz wheel is going to fuck it up or not. It shouldn't, but I don't know. I heard a lot of conflicting things online, so while you're at it too, you definitely want to measure the size of the piston. Just whatever size the micrometer was at before, prior to you, or while you were doing the die bore gauge and measuring the cylinder wall. Just stick these in there. Make sure they're not bigger. They're not a crazy amount smaller. You also got to make sure you're going directly in the middle, because if you're going like one corner to like not the other corner, then I don't know, it's not the same size all around. Well, it probably is, but I don't know. You got to make sure you're holding it straight, so that way it reads 100% accurate. But yeah, so next video I'll be throwing the crankshaft in. I'll be throwing the pistons in. Actually, I might not be throwing the crankshaft in, only because I don't know if I can reuse these bearings. I would assume you probably just get new ones, but they probably are fucking bread. So we're gonna see. And you gotta like look on the front of the block. I think you would have to look at this number right here, and then there's a number on the actual inside of the block, like under here. But for now, this is good. Got everything measured out. I know exactly how I want everything to be. Got a couple more fucking gasket surfaces to clean off. I didn't even remember this. Damn. But other than that, she should be good to go pretty soon. A lot sooner than I thought. I thought this was going to take me like at least till midsummer, but now it's looking more like spring. So that's always good.